Okay, so today I'm gonna go over some of my favorite baits for bass fishing. Most of these are soft plastics, but I'm gonna go over them and then I'm gonna show you how I like to fish with them. First I'm gonna start off with is the Zoom Trick Worm. There's a lot of colors out there that work well, but I fish a lot of dark water, and for some reason this one just seems to do so much better than all the others. And this is the Bubblegum. Yep, Bubblegum Trick Worm by Zoom. And I guess it's just the really bright color in the dark water helps it stand out a lot better, even though I hear so many people say if you are fishing dark water, go with darker baits. And that makes sense because all the fish they're going to be eating that live in that dark water are going to be darker from not having so much sunlight. But this is the only bait I have found that proves that wrong. So first I'm going to show you how I like rigging this bait. I like rigging this just a weightless wide gap hook and just kind of throw it out there. You want to pop it back to you. Give it a little pause in between. Okay, got my line wrapped. This bait is a really good bait. There's just, this pond's not stocked with bass, so I don't think I'm gonna catch anything. I'm just trying to show y'all how to work this. Okay, so you just saw the Trick Worm. The next bait is the Zoom Fluke. And the color I have here to show you is the White Pearl, because if you're just now buying a fluke, from what I've learned, is the best starting off bait that you can't go wrong with is the White Pearl. So how I have this rigged is still just the same way as the Trick Worm. You can, however, add weight to this. That's a very good way to fish this. The next bait doesn't need a weight, so this bait also works good without a weight, so that's how I'm gonna fish it. You also just wanna kinda dance this one back to you. Give it a little pause. I get grass on it. There's a lot of grass in this pond. See, so even without a weight, it gets down there deep enough to get grass on it. And that was 4 or 5 foot of water I just cast it in. More grass. Okay, well, I'm gonna hurry up and get to the next bait because the wind's picking up and it's about to storm, as you can just tell. Next bait is another soft plastic. I'm getting to these first. This one is by Ribbit, and it's just a little frog. A little bait that's supposed to look like a frog. watermelon red/white. This bait works really well. The only problem I have had with it is with smaller bass, tend to just grab the legs of it and try and pull it under, and even if you give them a lot of time, sometimes they only ever hold on to the legs. But I mean, only thing you can do in that situation is let them run with it. But if you get a big bass, like a pound or bigger, he just comes up, snatches the whole thing off the top. So just give them the usual 5 to 7 seconds, set the hook. So once again, this one's just a weightless hook. Throw it out there, and I like to reel it back and keep it just on the surface, how frogs usually swim. Oh wow, I just saw lightning. I don't know if that was in the camera or not, but wasn't too far away. Okay, so the next bait I like is also another frog bait. This is the one by Strike King. And I got this color right here. Get the color, I suggest, get whatever color they have that is the closest to resemble the frogs that live near the ponds or lakes that you fish. This one right here, they didn't have one that looked close enough to a bullfrog to me, but this one right here resembled a leopard frog fairly closely, and that's actually the main frog around the ponds where I fish. We have bullfrogs, but they're all really huge, so it's gonna take a big bass to eat some of the bullfrogs that are in my ponds. But this is about the average size of a leopard frog and fairly close to the color, so it looks realistic. That's why I bought this one. So this one, just throw it back there and kind of pop it back. Sorry about the camera. This pond does have some big bluegill in it. I'm surprised none of them tried to bite at any of these baits. Jeez. Okay, the next bait I really like is the Rapala Original Floating. I've always been a big fan of these lures. I've been getting them since I was a little kid, always fished with them, and I always catch fish on them. The ones I usually have is like they have the F05. I usually get that one. This is the F07. It's the slightly bigger one than the F05. But I like the F05 because I can fish for redbreast and bluegill on it. And I've actually caught redbreast and bluegill on this one right here. And there's several ways you can fish this. You can throw it out there and reel it out, reel it back in, which is what I used to do as a little kid. And I caught a lot of fish that ways. Or how I've always caught redbreast and bluegill on it, and even bass, is topwater fishing with it. Throw it out there and let it float and just rapidly pop it, make it look like a hurt fish, and they'll usually nail it right off the surface. Thing does not cast very far in a bait caster. It's very light. I usually throw it on a spinner reel. As you can see, that's how I like working it. Just right there on top of the water. To me, there's nothing better than top water bass fishing. Again, you can always work it like this, and this works too. Well, I want to try top water by this dock. There's usually some big bluegill over there. And it might run out and hit it. Nope. Can't always just reel it back in. It's got good action to it. So you can just throw it out there and just slowly reel it back in. I really want to see if I can get one of these bluegill to bite it. Did he get it? No, he didn't get it. He hit it though.